My whole approach to that story was very simple. All men lie about getting blowjobs. That's the truth of it. And I knew the Republicans who were attacking the president lied about their blowjobs. He lied about his blowjob. And there are senators today lying about their blowjobs. So when I reduced it to a blowjob, and I saw that half of the government was trying to bring down the other half of the government using the historic impeachment process for only the second time successfully, as I understand it, this was a catastrophe in the making that I refused to allow to happen. It was a mob wanting to lynch the president, and you check out the progressives, the left wing, the liberals, and how they went along with it. They all took that same ride. Bill Clinton was doomed. And I said, we've got his back. And remembering that I had the #1 rated show on CNBC, we had a formidable weapon. And alone in the mainstream media, we stood for the president and said, no way we're going to let you take this man out. So Ken Starr became, fair game, the prosecutor. All of Newt Gingrich, with his hypocrisy, became fair game. And every shot they took at Bill Clinton, I used their same standard of proof against them. And I did it knowing that the vast majority of minorities in this country, blacks and Latinos, totally identify with the president. That he had a core of support, even in his worst days, even when maybe in his own mind he thought he was going. And just, we beat him up so bad. I really believe that that's when it came time finally for those senators to vote. They could not vote impeachment.
And Roger Ailes had no objections to the way you covered that story.
Au contraire, because it's one of history's little ironies that Roger Ailes, who hired me and basically watched that program flourish and made CNBC a powerhouse, Roger did, in his genius, this little sleepy cable show, or cable network, had already left to form Fox News. So Roger came here in 2006, 2007. He was making Fox News a powerhouse by attacking the president. I mean, that was part of Roger's, he set his sights on Bill Clinton, the 42nd president, 43rd president, he was gonna take him down. They went wild. In fact, I had a fight with O'Reilly my first day here. 2006, 2007, they were going wild here, and from 2008 when the impeachment process really got going. And I took the opposite tack, and the two of us were kind of titans banging it out, me against my old boss. But the president prevailed, as he should have. It was not an impeachable offense. He could have been chastised in some way that was totally humiliating without putting the nation through that trauma.
Yeah.
Because I really believe that Monica Lewinsky is the reason we didn't intervene in Rwanda. I think it's the reason we started the bombing campaign against Saddam Hussein. I think that Monica Lewinsky really, that whole affair and how it led to the divided government we have now, I think all the suspicion about politicians, it was one of the worst chapters in American history. I'm very proud to have stood with the president. I am beyond delighted that, and Bill Clinton was the 42nd president, I am beyond delighted that he defeated the impeachment. And I lament the fact that he goes down in history along with Andrew Johnson as the only other president impeached. It was such an abusive process.
Did he ever subsequently talk to you about your coverage?
Sure. It's funny, I can't say the Clintons, unlike John Lennon, the Clintons never embraced me publicly. much to my chagrin, I have to say, because having been, I think, instrumental in saving his ass, I would have expected more generosity of spirit, and greater access, but I never really got it. But he did call, and I've seen him plenty of times, and he invited me to the inauguration of his library, and he never enters a room without saying hello to me and all that, but he just never did the big sit-down interview with me, nor did the Secretary of State, the current Secretary of State, his wife, Hillary. But he did call me in the immediate aftermath of the Senate vote. And without revealing any confidences, I'll give you the setting. My niece, Andrea, was dying of cancer in New York Presbyterian Hospital. I forget what they call it now. I think that's what they call it. Used to be Columbia Presbyterian, now the big place.
Right.
I actually live right across the river at Edgewater, one of my houses there. But so he called me as I was with Andrea, who only had at that point weeks to live. So here we're getting a call from the President of the United States in her room, and I get it on my phone, and so I just started interviewing him over the phone, and Andrea loved it, and so I'll never forget that. I didn't put him on the phone with her. I should have, in retrospect, but it was quite a moment.